All right, we have a battle between the two of the most strongest comic book characters I've ever created. Doomsday versus the Juggernaut. So here we go. Juggernaut. Cain Marco, bonded with the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. This gave him magical abilities and an unknown amount of strength. He's strong enough to use buildings as weapons and go toe to toe with World War Hawk. That's nuts. You can do that. That's amazing. He's able to generate a force field that adds to his already extreme durability. This was recently taken away from him in comics, but I'm going to give it to him in this fight. He can run up to 600 miles per hour, which is close to the speed of sound. And once he picks up a lot of momentum, there is said to be nothing that can stop him, even though World War Hawk with celestial technology stopped him. But before then, nothing really ever stopped him. He has a limitless stamina, as his body does not release any fatigue toxins. He's virtually immortal, as he doesn't need food, water, or oxygen, and is immune to all diseases and doesn't age either. Uh, if he is injured, as he can be injured, he has an amazing healing factor to back him up. He was once flayed down to just a skeleton, and he healed from it within seconds. He can summon his mystical armor, and he's also a formidable hand-to-hand fighter. Once when he picked up a lot of momentum and he couldn't be stopped or whatever, he was resorted to a skeleton as well. Did he stop moving? No. He was a skeleton running, and then he healed from it in seconds. That's crazy. This is why Juggernaut, in my opinion, is very underrated and very overpowered at the same time. I swear. He's also the stepbrother to Professor X or Charles Xavier. Yeah, that's pretty cool to know. And he's overpowered powerhouses like Hulk and Thor. And in the other corner, we have Doomsday. He was created and evolved through cloning an infant and killing it over and over in a prehistoric Kryptonian. Because of this, every time he dies, he returns immune to whatever it was that killed him. This is how he eventually killed Superman. His entire body is built as a defensive structure which continues to arm itself the more it is damaged. He has very sharp bone shard claws on his fingers, his elbows, his shoulders, his hands, his chest, and his head. These can cut and stab through Kryptonians, and it even made Superman bleed, which is crazy. He has a high energy resistance, has an accelerated healing factor. He constantly adapts to forms of attacks. Basically, after experiencing an attack, he learns how to resist it in the future, so it can't harm him again. If you can just learn to do that, like what the heck? That's OP right there. He's almost completely invulnerable to all forms of physical and mental attacks. Basically, you have to be on his strength level or higher to hurt him. He can leap miles at a time. He's a formidable hand-to-hand fighter, and he's very fast for his size, as he's been able to fight speedsters like the Flash and Superman. He has taken Superman's optic beams, Darkseid's Omega beams, and knocked out Darkseid. So Juggernaut, limitless stamina, arguably has a better healing factor. Being able to instantly come back from being a skeleton within a few seconds, better healing factor. Can generate a force field and summon his mystical armor at will. Doomsday has sharp bone shards on his fingers, hands, elbows, shoulders, chest, and his head. Constant adaptation, and he's faster in combat. I'd say they're equal in terms of strength and durability. Like I said, Juggernaut has the better healing factor and a limitless stamina. Doomsday is faster in combat and has his sharp bone shards that cut Superman, so they'll be able to cut Doomsday. Juggernaut can generate the force field and summon his mystical armor at will. When Juggernaut starts picking up momentum, Doomsday will not be able to stop that, and he will take the hit. But he's durable enough to take it, and what eventually will happen is that Doomsday will adapt to every advantage that Cain has, somehow, and turn all of Juggernaut's advantages to disadvantages. Somehow, physically, mystically, somehow, he always adapts to his opponents, and that's how he wins. And Juggernaut doesn't have anything to counteract this, so after a long, hard, destructive fight, Doomsday wins. Like and subscribe, all the great stuff. See you on the next one. Peace.